Hi, this is Edward Troxel. In this tutorial, we're going to look at the scene detection effect. The effect has several parameters that the script can change, and then it needs to push the Analyze button, and then it needs to go through and push the Split button. Then once the Split button is pushed, the effect actually will disappear from the event, and you will end up with either one or multiple events, depends on whether or not it found multiple scenes. So let's take a look and see how this would work. Here we can see a event on the timeline. This clip has multiple sections. You can see there's 3 different sections to it. And so we add the scene detection effect, and these are the parameters that we can change. They are all 0.5 by default. Then you had to push the Analyze button, and then once the analysis process is finished, you have to push the Split button. So let's see how the script does that. Here is our script. Down to my Vegas equals Vegas is all of our standard stuff that's automatically at the top. Remember, we also have the entry point at the bottom that's necessary for the script to run. But then let's look at all the stuff in the middle. First of all, I'm going to get the video event, which is on myvegas.project.tracks0 events 0. There's one video event on there, so that is the only video event we have. And then we only have one effect on here, so instead of checking to see what effect it is, I'm just assuming that this is the correct effect. Naturally, you would probably want to either have the script add the effect and then use that effect, or you would need to check to verify that the effect that I found is the one that I want to use. In this particular case, I know I only have one, so I just went for each effect, EFF, in video event.effects, and then I did check to see if it is an OFX effect, and then I get the OFX effect from effect.OFX effect. Now the first thing I'm going to check for is a double parameter. All 3 of the parameters you can change are double parameters. And the first one is called sensitivity hard cuts. And here I'm just changing it to 0.7 just to show that it can be changed. So I created the name SHC for sensitivity hard cuts and changed that to 0.7. Then I used SF for sensitivity fades, and also change that to 0.7. And then the third double parameter is sensitivity dissolves, which I call SD, which I also changed to 0.7, and that is simply because in this case I want to show that we can change these parameters. The next thing I'm going to look for is a push button, and I'm going to call that analysis, and I get it the same way that I found the other parameters. I'm looking for an OFS push button parameter from OFX.findParameterByName, and the name of that button is analysis. And so then I do analysis.parameterChanged, and that actually pushes the button. Now I want to make sure that Vegas can see the updates from this parameter changed analysis, and so I'm calling myvegas.updateUI. That is just to make sure that Vegas can see all of these changes. And then I'm looking for another push button parameter, which I called split, and we do it by find parameter by name, and the name of that button is split action. And then I call split.parameter changed, and that pushes the split button. So let's see how this works. There's doing the analysis, and then it pushed the split button, and you can see we now have 3 different events on the timeline. If I undo back to here, this is after the analysis button was pressed. You can see that the 3 parameters do say 0.7, which is what the script changed them to. And I could actually go in here now and do create regions, and you can see how that option would also work. So now we have seen how the script works. It will automatically change the settings if we want different settings than the default, and it can then push the analysis button. Then we make sure that Vegas can update its interface, and then it pushes the split button, and the effect automatically disappears once the split button has been pushed. So I hope you like this tutorial. Like, subscribe, tell me what you'd like to see in future tutorials, and we'll see you again in the next tutorial.